you? Hi there. I'm a reporter for the Constantinople Times. Would you care to do an interview for an article I'm writing? It's about the lives of the people after the takeover of the Germanic tribes.
Sure, a lot has been going on since the Visigoths invaded us here.
How has your community been affected by these invasions? What is the government like?
Well, the Visigoths fight constantly over kinship. They do not have a hereditary monarchy and lack any established procedure for choosing new rulers.
Is the Christian church prevalent in the government at all?
Yes, very much so. Recently, church officials have tried to develop a sense of order, but failed to stop the feuds and assassinations that have been happening. The constant struggles of the royal house with the secular and spiritual aristocracy have caused a lot of turmoil. Every day, the government seems to lose more and more power. Who knows what will happen to us next?
So, recently your community has converted itself fully to Christianity. How does this impact the line of rulers? Is there a dynasty? Or do church officials rule?
It all started in 587 AD when the king of Toledo, Recared, converted to Catholicism from Arian Christianity. The Third Council of Toledo marked a dramatic change in the Visigothic kingdom and began a collaboration between the Catholic Church and the Visigothic royal government. When the religion changed, this began the unification of Roman and German elements in Spain.
How has the church influenced the daily lives of the individuals in your community?
The Catholic Church has become the national and established church. The kingdom is now united under this religion. The church has regulated society. It has become the center of community as well as organizing and stabilizing our society. It also set the customs or morals for our people to look up to.
Interesting. So I understand that the trade industry has been negatively affected by the invasions of the Germanic tribes, especially the Visigoths. What's trade like now?
The hostile tribes interfered with trade because of their invasions from land and sea. They cut off our trade routes, and now it's almost impossible to get things in and out of this area. They destroyed everything in their paths and left nothing for us. I am worried that soon the community will starve.
That sounds terrible. If you can't trade, how is this affecting the economy?
Everything is just going downhill. The public funds are drained. There is no money that could go into funding trade because the military is eating up tax money. So many people have lost their occupations because trade declines rapidly. The economic centers have been destroyed and money becomes scarcer by the day.
I hope things will soon start to look up for you. Are people leaving because of this and the Visigoth invaders?
When the Visigoths moved into the empire and settled down, Roman forces were withdrawn from the provinces. This reduced the central authority of the emperors. As Roman centers of trade and government collapsed, nobles, along with other city dwellers, settled in rural areas. The cities are becoming dangerous places that are still aimed to be invaded by Germanic tribes. The population of Spain has now become mostly rural.
Do you feel it is necessary to move and settle in rural places?
Maybe not necessary, but definitely would be a good idea to get to a safer environment.
What is happening to the cities as the people move away?
Cities continue to be abandoned as centers of administration. Since cities are so heavily populated, they are the main targets for invading tribes. The Roman culture left the cities along with the people. Some buildings are still left standing and are used by the Visigoths. As more people move to the outskirts, agriculture is becoming more popular, which could really help with the money situation if we could trade with outside places. Also, people's loyalty have changed as they move away from the cities, which takes a major toll on the stability of the government. So all of the problems since the Visigoths invaded are connected.
What about education? Is that connected in some way?
There has been a major decline in learning, even though many Christian scholars try to keep education alive since we were invaded. This is no longer a place for learning philosophy and science. All of the architecture, learning, and thoughts of the empire were completely forgotten. Libraries have been burned, and places of education are no longer used. Many of the invaders cannot read or write, so education is becoming less and less important. One of the causes of this was loss of common language. Society is going backwards.
Wow. I didn't realize education has taken a turn for the worst. What happened to the common languages?
The unifying languages of Greek and Latin were lost after the Roman Empire fell. This made it harder for people to communicate and thus helped result in a decline in trade. All of the different conquering tribes speak different languages. Even people here in my own community have difficulty communicating. The language barriers contribute to villages being isolated from one another. Some of my friends that moved away eventually came back because they could not function in a community where no one spoke the same language as them. Times are getting harder.
I'm so sorry to hear all of this. Thank you for sharing all of this information. Hopefully, now we can get the word out and try to help communities such as yours struggling from the Germanic invaders. Good luck to you in the future.
Thank you for the interview. Good luck to you as well.
I'm an interviewer for the Constantinople Times. Would you care to do an interview for an article I'm writing? It's about the lives of the Germanic.
Cut.
Hi there.
Some buildings are still left standing and are used by the Visigoths.